Auxito's new jump starter with a built-in air compressor. Is it any good? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Alright, so let's see what's in the box right here. And also, this video is sponsored by Auxito, and I'll have my link down below in the description if you want to save off 15% off for any of their items. So it comes with a nice carrying case. It's pretty sturdy. And inside, so it's got the manual and some type of adapters for putting air on different items like balls or tires and different things. And then right here is the main unit. So it looks pretty nice. It feels pretty good in the hand. And right over here, the connector for the battery. They give you an adapter so you can put air in the tires. So we're gonna check that out right there. And a USB-C charger for the unit. So it should be somewhere over here. So the USB charger should go right here for the charging. And it looks like they give you an output to charge other items as well. I already did go ahead and try it out just to get a better feeling of how it works. But if you press on the middle button right here and hold it, it'll turn it on and give you the battery percentage. So it's at 90%. When I had first opened it, it was 80%, but I had just charged it just to, make sure it had a good amount of battery. So right on the top of the unit, it has some LEDs here, and you can control them through here. So it'll do white, red. And right here at the bottom, it's got the M with some presets for the air. So if I press it, you can see the car right here and a preset of 36 PSI. And right now it's gonna show 0 because there's no tire connected here. So it thinks it has no air. So it has a car setting with a 36 PSI setting, a motorcycle with a 35 PSI setting, bicycles 45 PSI, and then basketballs or soccer balls 8 PSI. But today we're using the car one. So it comes with the preset PSI settings, but you can adjust them right here. So if you want like 40 PSI in your tires or whatever number you want, you can adjust it and then just let it go. So let's say 40 PSI and then let it sit right there. It'll stop blinking and give you the current PSI on your tire. And then after that, you can just turn it on and it'll go to that 40 PSI or whatever you just set. So let's go ahead. For the battery jumper, it just goes connected right here on the side. So this tab lifts up and it's just like a plug and play connector straight up right there. And for the tire inflator, it does go right over here on top. So it just threads in this area and you can see it's got a little warning right here, overheat. So I'm gonna try to air up the tires right now. And that looks good. And I'll go ahead and put this right here because it gets kind of hot in this section. All right, I'm gonna try to inflate the tires on the Yukon right here. So right now I'll measure it and then I'll try to deflate it to 0 and see how long it takes for this to fill it up all the way to like maybe 35 or 36 PSI. Let me check out the PSI right now. And it shows about 28 PSI. So now I'll just test it out with the Auxito and see if it's accurate. And power it on. So 36 PSI and it's gonna, yeah, so it's accurate, 28, 29 PSI. You can kind of see right here. So it says 28 PSI, so that was pretty accurate. All right, I'm gonna deflate the tire all the way to 0 and see if the Auxito can pump the air all the way to 35 PSI without any problems. All right, so I got all the air out and I'll try to put it on a time lapse and see how long it takes to air up all the way to 35 PSI. So I just finished up and my PSI is at 36. The battery on the unit is at 39%. So when I started, I believe it was 90%. And it did take about like 20 minutes or so. So it did its job right there and I'm impressed with it because it went from 0 to 36 PSI and it didn't cut off or anything like that. I was actually expecting it maybe to get like real hot or turn off, but it didn't do any of those. So I would say that's a pass right there. and it doesn't like feel too hot or anything like that. But of course, like I said, I'm not gonna be touching this section right there. I'm gonna set it to 38. To test out the battery jump feature, I just disconnected the battery on my truck because this one is good. And I'm gonna try hooking it up straight to the terminals right here and see if that works right there. So let's go ahead and try it out. So the jumper part goes here on the bottom. And you can see it has a green light. My negative on the bottom and my positive right here. All right, let me try to start it. It actually worked. So the battery's unhooked. You can see it's not connected. And then over here it's not connected. So that's a good charger right there. It had enough power to start the truck without the battery being connected. So right now it's just on the alternator. I really wasn't expecting it to start it without the battery being actually hooked up, which is really good. And right now you can see that it's at 95%. So if I press and hold right here, it gives me 95% on battery charge for the unit. But when I got it out of the box, it was 80% and I had charged it to 99. So let me go ahead and try it out again at this 95% and see if it'll jump start it again. All right, let's go ahead and try it out one more time. So right here you can see it says 95%, and let me start it. Dropped to 90%. So jumping the truck 2 times, it dropped it down to 90%, which is not bad at all because I had no battery hooked up, which I wasn't even sure if it was gonna be able to do it, but it did. So I think this is actually a good unit right here. So in my opinion, I think it's a great unit. It jump started my battery without the battery being connected, which is great because some of the jump starters won't do it. And on the tire inflator feature, that was another plus because not all the units have it. This is actually the first one that I've seen with the tire inflator, and it's actually pretty compact and it worked out well. If you're inflating the tires from 0, it does take a while. It's not the fastest, but it gets the job done, which is what counts. So if you're in the market for a portable jumper, I definitely recommend the Auxito one. If you just want to get that extra peace of mind on your daily commute, when you're all alone on the road and don't have to worry about no jumper cables for a dead battery, you can just jump it real quick right here with the jumper. Or if you're just running low on tire pressure, you can just hook it up to the tire inflator and you're good to go. And if this video helped you out, don't forget to hit that like button down below and check out the next video here.